So the wildest thing about the laptop was that they were able to suppress it from social media. And
really wild.
When I discussed that with Zuckerberg, and he openly admitted it, that the FBI had contacted him and told him that it was Russian disinformation. Correct. And like, that was one of those things where he was saying, I was like, yo, I was like, this guy's like just saying this.
Yeah.
And
I remember when that episode came out because it reverberated across American politics like crazy. Because like, holy shit, he just said the thing that we all suspected for a very long time.
And if it wasn't for Elon purchasing Twitter and then finding out how much of an influence they were having on this, and that they were, in fact, silencing something that they knew to be correct under a lie. Yes. Under a lie, and 51 former intelligence agents signed off on this.
That's right.
It was like, how did they pull that off? Like, just pulling that off is really wild. And the fact that there was no outrage from the left, that the left was like, it's fine because it's our side, and Trump is evil and he's Hitler. We got to get rid of him. So let's just lie about this laptop.
And no consequences.
Nothing.
Right?
The same people that pushed it are still...
And by the way, they still all have security clearances, I believe, which is going to change when we win. But, I mean, also, this is where I always get pissed about the media conversation around what happened in 2020, is what they'll do is they'll sort of find the craziest conspiracy theory about what happened in 2020. They'll debunk it and say, oh, look, this shows that nothing bad happened in 2020. There's a nonpartisan organization that actually looked at what would have happened to Americans' votes if they had just known the truth about the fact that Joe Biden fundamentally had traded his political influence for money. Like, that's what it was. It's an old-fashioned American corruption story. I will give you access to powerful people in exchange for money, right? That was the true scandal of the Hunter Biden laptop. Again, it wasn't Hunter Biden doing cocaine with a stripper.
That was the fun part.
You can say that. I have an election to win. So that was the real scandal.
The corruption.
It was the corruption. And this
evidence of the corruption.
And direct evidence of the corruption. And the nonpartisan organization said that knowledge, which was suppressed by the entire American media and big tech scene, that would have changed millions upon millions of votes. And we know that the number in 4 swing states was 88,000 votes that were the difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden winning the 2020 election. So set to the side all of the other arguments about fraud and all the other rule changes that happened in the midst of COVID. We know that big tech colluded with our own sort of, I would say colluded. The one thing I'll say about Zuckerberg is, and I don't know him super well. I've never had a problem with him, but I do wonder if it's a convenient excuse. I don't doubt that the FBI said, hey, this is Russian disinformation, but these companies still have to take some agency over this too, right? So I think it was both the corruption of the FBI and the intelligence services, but also the big technology companies themselves. Both of them are at blame. And I think fundamentally, if they had not done what they did, Donald Trump would have won another term as president of the United States. You're never going to be able to convince me that if millions upon millions of swing voters knew the evidence of Joe Biden's corruption and it was staring them in the face, that we would not have been able to pull that one out.
Well,